All right, guys, welcome to Tower Ridge Disc Golf Course. Jim from Disc Golf Brah, joined by Kyle Moriarty. 2022, ring the bell. Kyle, what's going on?
I am so ready to watch some awesome disc golf here at one of the most beautiful courses here in Connecticut.
After round one, no shocker there. You're at -6 at the top. We got a lot of big names up there. I'm excited for this round.
Yeah, I'm actually at -7, and there's a bunch of people at -6, which is super fun, super tight race, a lot of big names, huge player field here, great tournament.
That was the test, and you passed. Kyle, you're at -7, coming from Worcester, Mass. Thanks for joining us. This is going to be a lot of fun having you on the card.
Yeah, and then we have Josh Burek. He's at 6 down. He's in that tie. He's from Harvard, Massachusetts. First time actually getting to play with him.
One of our kind of local players here, James Bress. I've never seen him play, heard a lot about him. Excited to watch this here.
Awesome, dude. And then we're finished off, rounding the card out with David Fleck, 6 down, another Connecticut dude. He's killing it.
We're going to start off here at hole 1, 520 foot par 3. This is a bomber. This is a good one to start on.
Yeah, the angle off the tee and how the trees kind of hang out kind of really limit what you can do off the tee. You're just looking for a shot, trying to miss the trees in the back. Nice right-hand backhand hyzer or lefty forehand hyzer, and make sure you get your 3. Stay out of that hazard sandpit.
And there's hawks flying everywhere. I almost took the drone out here. Kyle, what are you throwing on this first hole?
This would be a Star Destroyer that my buddy Shane Rookie died for me, wrote wads all over it. And I'm just giving it a nice pop, letting it hyzer out, try to beat that tree, gliding out, and not landing in the hazard.
Almost pin high. I got to say that's probably best case scenario on this hole. That's a great shot.
Yeah, I don't see many people getting the 2 unless they do a throw-in. The basket's perched up a little bit, so it's a tough one to run. Great shot from Josh there. Nice placement. That'll play pretty well.
Yeah, that was his drive there. That's a nice stable choice here. Here's James looking to put a rip on this one. Hard to follow that first shot, I got to say.
Yeah, what I really love about James is his form is so compact. He basically just does like 1.5 steps and then hits his point. Great weight transfer, great way to generate whatever momentum he needs and really uses it well.
Yeah, that was a great shot. Tough thing about this hole, that's going to be a tough up and down. Let's see how David tackles this one. This is looking high.
Yeah, and he looks like he was just squeaking past those tree branches that kind of get in the way. Really limits the player from swinging something a little bit wider.
This is what I'm talking about. You got this OB kind of right in your face here. This is definitely not an easy approach.
Oh, and he
kind of fluffed that one away.
Yeah, and that's hazard, not out of bounds, so he will get to play from it. He just gets the stroke. But, you know, you get the same little stroke penalty.
Sure. Josh, maybe overcompensation, goes a little deep here. Let's see how David tackles this one. And, yeah, makes the adjustment.
That's perfect.
That's nice.
Beautiful.
What do you got going on here? You running this one? What are you thinking in your brain?
No, I am laying this up all day. I'm up a stroke. I know nobody's right there. You know, I'm the last one to go, so I know no one's going to gain a stroke on me. I'm just playing this one for par.
Tough putt with your foot in the trap there. Not easy. This
No.
is another crazy tough putt, I would say, for Josh.
Yeah,
kind of a
this
death
is
putt behind.
You know, first hole when I think this is his first time being filmed too. So first putt, first hole on video, cans a huge putt.
Absolutely incredible putt there.
You know he was nervous.
Definitely.
Fleck, not nervous.
Not nervous, but a little good catch there. That would have been in the hazard, and that's a tough first one. But great par.
Yep.
And that's how you play the hole out
Yeah.
of you. Great par.
Yep. Keeping things simple here. Not trying to do too much.
Fortunate double bogey there from James. That's going to bring us to hole 2, 625 par 4. They kind of tucked the basket away just for this tournament. I like the placement. It's kind of a fun hole.
Yeah, very good change. It used to be kind of where the drone's flying now, and then they pushed it back behind everything, so it's really a true par 4 where your placement off the tee is essential, because if you're not right in that gap, you really got to scramble for some different kind of shots. Great hole.
You thinking going max distance here?
Yeah, I really wanted to get a nice big boom in Anheuser, throw something, trying to play the wind a little bit, but it's just stabling out just enough, pushing over towards the OB road. Stays in bound, though.
Yeah, that was a good rip. That was your wise old Brah, champ destroyer. Great shot there. So James gets a little too much height on this one and gets knocked down. I think hits a tree branch maybe, kind of drops right over the river. Let's see.
You know, it's played, it's inbound, it's a good angle to approach from. It just didn't get the distance.
David with a similar line from you there.
Yeah, he's throwing an ESP Glow Nuke. Definitely gives it that a little bit of stability to fight out and hangs out with me. Figured, I mean, close together and score, so why not?
Sure. A lot of OB and hazard on this course. Would you say that comes into play a lot on these holes?
Yeah, typically on these kind of ball golf courses, the challenge that the designer is doing is adding in either the hazards or OB areas because it is way open for fairways, especially for New England. So to actually get that difficulty, they have to add in out of bounds. They have to have these hazards.
Sure. Great shot out of James. That's a good upshot there from Josh, but he's going to have a lot left kind of tackle that putt.
Yeah. Hopefully, let's see what James can do here.
This might be best case scenario where he landed up there. That was a nice shot.
Yeah, he's going to be having probably around a 30-foot putt just outside the circle.
Yep.
It's a good play.
So a couple kind of open holes here, but this is an interesting line from David here. And you were looking at the same gap?
Yeah, we definitely missed our landing zone. We finished off too far left, and there is not a very good way to access the basket unless you are in that specific gap. So we have to get pretty creative and try to work through these trees instead of just going through a gap.
I saw that soft harp action there, just kind of hung up on a tree.
Yeah, I just didn't quite commit to it. It didn't have a good line, so just trying to avoid big numbers.
This is where you ended up. Get creative. Nice little out there. Same from Josh. Good outs there. Got to believe David's going to run this one, yeah?
Yeah, he's looking just off the top, but that would have been to tie it with me. So that was a big putt, big miss.
That's where James ended up. Good run there. So majestic in the background. This course is lovely.
It is gorgeous. It is just so visually pleasing to be there and to look at.
You notice any difference playing on wide open courses versus wooded, obviously?
Yeah,
Picking targets.
The putting, when it comes down to an approaches into fields, it's a lot harder to get that feel of how far that basket really is and how much you actually have to put onto it and how much you have to swing it, whereas when you're playing in the woods, it's like, oh, it's the line. If I just got to hit the line, I'm probably there.
Sure. Now we're starting to get into kind of a mix of both, right? We're at hole 3, 395, starts wide open, but you got to get kind of in this wooded section here. What are you throwing off the tee?
So off the tee, I'm going to go with a destroyer. There's an out-of-bounds cart path behind the basket, and the basket's tucked into this kind of pine grove. Very difficult to access. It's hard to know exactly what the wind is doing, so it's hard to trust a disc out over that out-of-bounds area for too long. And then you kind of just really want to throw it into the pines and get good reaction off of them. Hopefully you hit and you sit.
Fine over to the left, though, kind of where you are, even further. So that's great.
That's the miss. There's a safe miss and there's a bad miss. The bad miss is off to the right in the OB. The safe miss finishing left.
Josh going back to that rive. This is kind of a similar thing, looking to kind of sit. Yeah, that's fine over there.
Yeah, he didn't quite get it to hit the trees. I got it to hit into those pines.
David with this force here. Nice, kind of starts it out wide to the right. Nice low.
Yeah, it was a little too low and a little too centered, so it didn't quite get up to those pines. He missed it off right out of his hand.
This is looking good out of James, too. Maybe just doesn't turn over enough.
Yeah, it's hard to really commit a shot right at out of bounds. Like to purposely throw towards the OB knowing your disc will turn, especially when the wind is starting to pick up a little bit.
Sure. That was a purple zone out of Josh. You're going to see this all day. That was a good upshot.
Yeah.
David a little long here, but that'll be a putt coming back. Let's see what James got for us.
And you can notice the low-hanging branches that you have to deal with accessing the putt and coming into this green. James was just a little bit behind me. I'm inside of that line of pine branches, so I can kind of have a nice putt at it, whereas he had to go underneath and float it up into it.
Great birdie. And you planned that off the tee, right, to land in that little position. So
exactly,
great shot. Note, we had a little rain the day before, too, so people were saying these were branches are hanging a little lower than they might, so added difficulty, I'd say.
Yeah, you got to love, that little bit of kind of like circus-y, like, oh, let's make it even lower. You want hard? Let's make it even harder.
Couple low hangers. Really good birdie out of you, though. I got to imagine that's one of the few birdies on the day on that hole. That's a good one.
Yep. Yeah, par is a great score on that hole. You're really not losing strokes.
It's going to bring us to hole 4, 295, par 3. Little elevated, plays a lot more, 350 or something like that. What's your plan here?
This one, you have a lot of different ways to access this green, forehand, backhand, either lefty or righty. But for me, I'm going sidearm. Going up and trying to play a little skip because this isn't a nice, fast pine needle green. So get a skip, get up to the basket.
And shout out to Teresa, our catch cam. Almost gets clobbered by this forehand here. That was lovely.
Yeah, I went a little hot there.
Almost skip ace, too. That was a great shot. Kind of a nice turnover from Josh here, just a little too high. Doesn't really get a chance to come back and gets a brutal
Look at this
roll.
roll. Oh, my goodness. So you can see you can access this green a lot of different ways. It's not forcing one kind of shot, and it's really making a really good must-get two for that pro-level player. Dave throwing a beautiful shot. I think he said that was his
Buzz.
The buzz.
Great disc. And James showing us kind of a different route, too, a high turnover. So we saw all these kind of different lines on this hole. That's what makes this hole really cool, I think.
Yeah, straight at it, little turnover, a little bit more of a backhand hyzer or forehand hyzer. Like, you can let the player get creative. It's great.
What are you looking at about here? Right outside circle?
Just on the edge, probably just inside.
Lovely. Just inside the basket. You did have a
Connected.
slug on your disc, too, so didn't
Yeah.
affect you. You shook it
No,
off.
the slug tried to get me, tried to get my head.
Yeah, feeling great.
Great
Back-to-back
birdie.
birdies for you. That's a great birdie from
Yep.
Dave, trying to keep it interesting here. We got a good battle going.
Yeah, he knows he's, once my engine's going, he better catch on to the train with me or he's going to get left behind. And this kind of course, you have to be scoring, you have to be birdieing.
Definitely saw some good scores on this course. It's going to bring us to hole 5, 305. This is a low ceiling. Almost hard to fly the drone through here.
Oh, you
Cool
can see
hole.
it's-
Bunch of different plays. What do you got for this hole?
This hole, you can I've seen rollers work, I've seen forehands work, and even backhands work as long as everything's staying low and penetrating forward.
Going back to that synapse here.
Yep, this is the synapse. I pull it a little bit wide, and it fights through a tree, puts me right around 45 feet.
That's a good one here. David trying to match similar throw and just gets a little too low. Worm burner there.
Yep, and that's where that low ceiling really plays that difficulty where you're trying to push it just too low. And that's a hard mistake. James Breeze just throws this beautiful backhand just to circle's edge.
Great shot. So smooth, that guy. So smooth. We've seen our first forehand out of Josh here. Just kind of hit that big tree at the end, but not bad. That's
Nope, he's out. This should be a routine up and down. David has a little bit more work to do here. Still has to get out of the woods and just throws a beautiful shot.
I respect the commit there. That was a tough shot for sure.
Aiming at Teresa again. Sorry, Teresa.
Here's that purple zone. Just doing zony things there.
Yeah, that's what a zone does. And when you have that confidence in that upshot disc, you're going to lean on it.
And this would be 3 in a row for you. I know you want this one.
Mm.
Just a little low.
Yeah, it's a tough commit.
James with a similar distance. That was a good run too.
Yeah, he just needs a little bit more oomph on it. He's had a couple putts that just go off that front rim. I'm not sure if it's nerves of being on camera, but he needs just a little bit more pop. He's had a couple go off that, just the rim.
What are you, James putting with KC Pro AVR? What do you think?
I think
Any
it was
discussion?
the classic grid AVR.
Yeah, nice. Pretty.
Yeah.
And this would be a great tap in for you. Yeah, another good hole. There's a lot of kind of different looks and different lines you can take on this course. This is a fun front. It's going to bring us to hole 6. 390 elevation is key here. This is a bomber one, I'd say.
Yeah, 390 is very deceiving. It plays more of like 450. It is very uphill, and there are 2 guarded hazards that you have to get over if you're not pushing that kind of 460 distance. So a lot of players have to make the decision to go for the green or to lay up in front of it.
And no surprise here, you're going for the green. This is a smush.
Yeah, the wise old Brah is going to get up to the basket.
Jeesh. That was a great shot. And David said, that was a great shot. I'm going to take a different line, but I'm going to get up a little closer. And this is another great shot.
Yeah, this one really impressed me. I went more of like a little Anheuser line straight at it. He kind of was just like, Heiser power.
And James was mentioning how big arms you guys have here. But this is a great shot here out of James, too.
That is nothing to shake a stick at. That's a great shot.
No, I'm laying up way earlier than that. That was a great shot.
Yeah, I mean, James isn't quite a Brah. He's, a normal player.
And Josh, same thing. That's a great shot.
Yeah, Josh has sneaky power. It must be all the CrossFit he does.
He's a good-looking dude. And this is a good run out of James there.
That touch, that just beautiful straight little toss.
Maybe a little misfire there.
Yeah, I don't.
In between
I don't
a
know
jump
what
and a not
happened,
jump, maybe,
right?
yeah.
He just gets stuck into it.
And yeah, that's a great birdie. Great
Boom.
birdie.
That is such a stroke on most of the field except for David. I bet you this hole was playing right around par, a little above par.
And that's no easy putt. That was still 20, 25
Yeah.
foot, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not easy at all.
Good putt.
Good par there. Yeah, great scores from you guys on this hole. That's an awesome hole.
It's not raining. That's a sunbrella.
That's true. That's going to bring us to probably the signature hole on this course, hole 7, one of the few par 5s in Connecticut. 1160. This is a beauty.
This is a great hole. It's got a great slow turn down to the right as you see the drone fly. And you can see those triple hazard bunkers right there in front of you. That's really going to mess with either your second or third shots. Playing up to this elevated basket on the old stump of one of these mega trees. Gorgeous.
What a beauty. You're going back to this destroyer here.
Oh, yeah, and I decided to crank it over. I threw a beautiful shot the first round, and I want a little bit more, and I definitely got a little too greedy.
Hey, it happens, you know?
Yeah, Dave seeing that, he's like, oh, that's a mistake. Let's see if I can capitalize.
Dave going to his nuke here and just gets a little too much height, asking for it to slow down.
But the mistake is the left side.
Agreed.
If you go on the left side, you can still attack. If you go to the right side, there's a Mando in play where you're going to have to play a shorter, safer shot.
And James just butter smoothing, I don't know, maybe 400. Like, that's a great shot.
Yeah,
it just looks so easy.
That's perfect. That's beautiful. That's all you need on this hole to really make sure you can get a 4. If you're asking too much out of it, that's when you get danger.
And similar thing from Josh. This just floats.
Great shot. Again, it's on the right side, so you're pinched off just a little bit more. The left side is really where you want to be.
Check out this non-existent window that you have here, and you just make it work.
I mean, it was there, but this is a pitch-up. Like, I really want to be throwing it. Every player really wants to be throwing a full power second shot.
Sure.
So to have to go to a standstill and to just kind of be playing a placement shot is really painful. See, and look at the difference of the shot that Dave's throwing and how much faster that disc is moving.
Yeah, this is a great shot from David, and just misses the bunker, and there's also OB left there, cart path, and just misses that, so great shot.
Yeah, great play. James, try to hold that angle. Come on. Now it needs to hit because that's going towards that OB.
Good thing about these trees, yeah, they hit and they drop, so that'll work out for him for sure.
Very good.
Let's see this turnover action from Josh. Like the height.
Yeah, that's a highly difficult shot unless you throw it a lot.
Yeah, unlucky didn't roll too much, but that'll work.
Yep, it's very workable. He can still save a birdie 4.
So this is just beautifully here. I mean, you got so many hazards. You got OB long, so many things to look at.
Yeah, I think I bushnelled this at around 500 feet downhill. So I took a destroyer and said, yeah, why not? Let's just blast it and see if I can get up to the pin.
Blasted.
And it was blasted and smushed and any other term you want to say. And
definitely an unlucky break here. You go out of bounds. I don't think you deserve it. I thought I was going to come back hard. Kind of never hooked up at the end.
Yeah, I didn't need something that fast. You really got to be playing something into that green in front of where the basket is and just letting it skip to the basket, not getting there in the air, just like that. That was beautiful.
I almost thought he was going to ring that up. That was great. Maybe even a little too much height there. He could have laid it up, like you said, and skidded it up.
Yep.
And this is a good line out of Josh.
Yeah.
Made it a little more maybe, but
yeah, that's going to be a tough putt. I don't know if he's going to really want to run that kind of elevated with a drop off.
What a position here for David on his third shot just to be able to throw putter.
Yeah,
nice and
soft
smooth.
zone, right? So
Beauty.
nice.
There's that purple zone doing
Boom.
things.
Great layup, good smart play right there, saving himself strokes.
And you guys were talking about where it went out of bounds.
Yep.
Cart path kind of bends back there, so it's tough to judge.
Yeah, it was sitting on the cart path, so we were trying to figure out whether it skipped up off the cart path and then rolled back down onto it, or if it just hit a tree and then kicked. And I said it hit a tree and kicked towards inbounds, but never came. Great putt. Great birdie.
Great birdie from James. And smart layup from you on your last shot. That's a tough ceiling there.
Yeah, but that's these two players here that are getting the birdies are showing you don't have to throw it super far. You just need controlled and land where you need to be landing, either in the middle or that left side.
And look at the height on that basket. That's a fun one.
Beautiful.
That's going to tie it up at top, and it's going to bring us to another fun hole, hole 8, 300, maybe one of the shorter holes on this course. It's an island hole. We got OB, hazard all around, drop zone. It's a good one.
Yeah, this hole is demanding. Where that basket's placed is you kind of really want to throw something, but you can't because just behind it is that out of bounds that wraps all the way around. There's a drop zone that players could go, or you can play it from the last place inbounds. Difficult.
David going with his buzz, kind of 50% power here. Has a nice glide at the end, and
Ooh.
that's great.
That hit the brakes just in time.
Just in time. I think you got to get it right over this ridge that we're looking at there and just let it kind of finish and stop.
Out of the hand, James definitely didn't think he had enough on it, but he put a great move on it.
Another kind of sneaky tree on this green, too. You got to get it right under the canopy. And this is looking like a little too much out of Josh. Unfortunately, goes out of
I'm
bounds.
not sure if he just wanted to go for the ace or just trying to throw something just too strong.
So you're going to your practice here.
Yeah, this is practice for me. I threw it a couple times and hit the basket with it once and just put it a little too low. Gonna have a really tough putt with all these low branches coming in.
Hard to see someone go out of bounds and then kind of get that right distance after, I'm sure.
Yeah, and you know it's kind of a little breezy. It's a little gusty.
Good run there, too.
Oh, thank you.
So not a bad out of bounds. I mean, he's right here for the tap-in par.
Yep, circle 3 or parked.
I like the aggressive play, for sure. Awesome birdie from James, too. He's starting to heat up.
Yep, now he's feeling it. You can see that putt's going over the rim, right into the center of the chains instead of just kind of that timid putt.
And don't look now, but we got a new leader.
Woof.
This is heating up. We got a battle.
Hi, Dave. Congratulations.
And you guys played a lot, you and Dave. Right?
Yeah, we've battled a lot this season. It's been awesome. You know, when you are in a smaller community, you definitely play with that top competitor a lot. And
sure.
We've been there a lot this year. We've had a lot of great battles.
It's going to bring us to a fun, kind of crazy hole. Hole 9, 310, low ceiling. This is a crazy hole.
Yeah, you get a lot of different options. Backhand roller, backhand straight at it, forehand, big Annie out and around the trees. Just trying to get through that gap you can see, stay underneath. Dave lifted it up, dropped straight down. A lot of work left still.
A lot of work. I think he was going for this line that James is going, this turnover. Gets sneaky, but still needed more height. The height's not there because the ceiling's there. That's a lot left.
Yeah, this hole is a big ask from the players. You have to execute an excellent shot that's penetrating forward with a lot of speed. Like this was great, and it's getting to 40 feet.
It's a tough hole unless your name is Kyle Moriarty because you just throw a dart here.
Yeah, this is that synapse from Thought Space, and it is moving. And I'm surprised it's actually deep. Because it's an uphill shot. We got to throw it at least 350 power and through a low ceiling too, so you really can't flex it.
So pressure's back on David, right? He just saw you throw a dart, kind of misfire off the tee.
Yeah,
momentum shift.
He's got a long putt left. There's that zone again. Yeah, so this is Dave for par.
Big par putt looked really good off his hand too.
That's tough.
We're going to have a lead change here. Nice par out of Josh there.
Oh, you can hear the guns.
Assuming you make this birdie, I mean, lead change.
Yeah, one of the other challenges of this course is it's down the street from a shooting range for the Connecticut State Police and another shooting range. So you will have gunfire going off at any certain point in time. So if you are easily distracted, this is definitely not the tournament course for you.
Yeah, that's why I didn't sign up. Great front 9, guys. This was an incredible watch. Great play out of you, Kyle. You're at the lead, -10. You got David -9. What do you think after the front 9?
Whew, it is anybody's race who's up on this board. There's a lot of trouble to be found on the next couple of holes, a lot of hazard, very specific shots.
Guys, don't miss out. We'll see you guys on the back 9. Thanks for watching.